Thanks so much for joining us for Denver 7 News at 11. I'm Jason Grenauer. We begin with breaking news out of Thornton this morning, where police are on the lookout for a suspect after an attempted abduction of a child. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is live at the scene with the latest. Veronica, what do we know?
We know Thornton Police Department officers are still outside of the STEM launch school. At least 2 patrol vehicles sit outside, making sure that everything is going the way it should be right here. But I want to point out this really grassy area that's just over to my left. When we got here about 40 minutes or so, that's the area that police officers were really concentrating on. At least 4 of them were walking kind of up and down what seems to be this ditch-like area. I also want to point out that there are a lot of residential homes here. There are all surrounding the school. Now take a look at these photos. These are what Thornton PD posted to their Twitter. This is the person they believe is the suspect who tried to abduct that 10-year-old child. It looks like this person is wearing, these dark-colored bottoms, this dark-colored sweatshirt as well. Right now, Thornton PD says they're still in those very initial stages of their investigation and who that suspect is. But the good news is we know that that 10-year-old child was able to get away from that suspect after fighting off a bit, that suspect then running away. Thornton PD saying, again, they're still on the lookout for that suspect. They're trying to identify who it is. And anyone out there with any information, they are being urged to call Thornton PD. That's at 720-977-5150. We're in Thornton this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Yeah, the best news here, that child was able to get away. Veronica, thank you.
Move your car! Stay back!
346, patrol car was just hit by a train.
That was the moment when a train barreled into a police cruiser that was parked on the train tracks in Weld County, and there was a woman inside that police vehicle. Now, this is dash and body camera video from the incident from Friday night. An officer originally pulled over a woman, put her in the back of his patrol cruiser, and while officers searched her vehicle, the train crashed into that patrol car with her inside. That woman was seriously injured. Platteville's police chief said the officer involved is on paid leave while CBI and state police investigate. In less than an hour, the Adams County coroner is expected to release the recently updated autopsy report of Elijah McClain. A judge ruled with Denver 7 and other local news organizations seeking the full release of that report to the public. McClain died in 2019, days after he was detained by Aurora police and injected with ketamine by Aurora fire paramedics. McClain's original 2019 autopsy listed his cause and manner of death as undetermined. But according to the coroner, that report was amended based on information that was recently presented to a grand jury. We'll update you on Denver7.com when we get a copy of that report. A federal lawsuit has been filed against the Boulder County Sheriff's Office. Claims deputies and a sergeant threatened and tased a man while he was fully restrained to a chair. Newly released body camera video shows former Sergeant Christopher Mecca tasing Travis Cole in the leg as he was strapped to that chair. Cole was arrested in 2020 as part of a domestic violence investigation. Now, according to the lawsuit, Mecca told his superiors he didn't use other methods of force because Cole is black. Mecca was fired and then later convicted of third-degree assault. Now, in a statement, the Boulder County Sheriff said it disagrees with the allegations in that lawsuit and that Mecca acted alone. A Weld County 80-year-old is the 6th person in Colorado to die from West Nile virus this year. We've seen an increase in West Nile cases statewide. 2021 saw a 120% increase in cases from the previous 5-year average. 101 people developed serious neuroinvasive cases and 11 people died. The mosquito that carries West Nile is especially active around dusk. Cooler weather, though, should cut down on the number of mosquitoes in just a few weeks. But today, cooler weather will give way to the upper 70s. Here's the view from our Mile High cam. Beautiful outside this morning. Blue skies all around. Denver 7 meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo here. A great weekend for fall colors. A great weekend to be outside. Fall is officially here and it's nice out.
Yeah, that didn't take long, right? After rain and cloudy skies yesterday, beautiful. You're right now, mid-70s right now here in Denver. So we're already at this point about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. Wind shifting out of the west. Now you'll notice they're at about 20 to about 25 miles per hour. That westerly wind helping to warm things up. It is going to be a little breezy to windy in the mountains as you get above tree line. Right now we're looking at temperatures though already in the 70s from Lakewood to Littleton. Thornton 74 right now, and in Erie 75. So a beautiful start to our afternoon. Clear skies statewide. It is going to be a gorgeous weekend. We're looking at highs in the mountains today in the 60s to low 70s. Coming up here in a few minutes, we're going to be at about 80 degrees here in town through the weekend. I'll break down what we're expecting for your fall colors if you're heading west or if you're heading to the Broncos game on Sunday. All of that coming up.
All right, Lisa, thank you. Hurricane Fiona pummeled Bermuda as it roared past the island this morning as a Category 3 hurricane. Here's a live look at Fiona on radar right now. It's off the Atlantic coast and is not a threat to the eastern seaboard. But as you can see, it is still spinning northward, and forecasters say it's on a direct path to Nova Scotia, Canada. They fear it could be the strongest storm ever to hit that country. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest on Fiona.
Hurricane Fiona slamming Bermuda overnight with winds up to 130 miles per hour prior to making landfall. 4 inches of rain expected to come down.
My storm showers.
Our Rob Marciano on the ground there.
Hurricane Fiona has been slamming Bermuda since about midnight, and we are in the southeast quadrant of this storm, which is the strongest quadrant.
70% of the island now without electricity, and that number will likely go up.
I have lots of water, snacks, canned meat, mostly non-perishables I purchased for the storm.
The president of the power company there telling ABC they are prepared, but no crews will be sent out until the storm has passed. So it could be some time before power is restored. In Puerto Rico, about 900,000 people still in the dark after Hurricane Fiona barreled through. Officials unable to say when their electricity will be back. Rafael Ramos saying his house was flooded and that the back end had collapsed. He says he lost everything. President Biden vowing to help, announcing the federal government will cover 100% of cleanup costs in Puerto Rico for the next month. The president says hundreds of FEMA officials are already on the ground.
We'll be with the folks of Puerto Rico now, and until this is done, until we recover.
Fiona is now responsible for at least 8 deaths after pummeling the Caribbean over the last several days. As the storm continues to swell, it is expected to hit eastern Canada as early as tonight. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
If you've been wondering whether another Tabor refund check is coming your way anytime soon, you'll be happy to know a slightly smaller refund could be coming early in 2023. Colorado's tax collections through June reached historic levels, and the state must now issue another rebate under the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, or Tabor. It's estimated we could get anywhere from $160 to $500 in refunds. The amount will be based on income and will likely be issued as people file their 2022 taxes next year. Thousands of flight attendants with Southwest Airlines across the country, including those at Denver International Airport, could start picketing as soon as Tuesday. Their union is calling for changes to their collective bargaining agreement. Demands include pay for time worked, control over their personal schedules when not at work, and access to food and a place to rest when traveling on the job. Starting next month, Xcel customers will have to pay more for their utility bills. The average residential customer will see their monthly bill increase about $3 a month. Small businesses will see an average of a $5 increase per month. Utility companies have to pay more for natural gas right now, and regulations allow them to pass those higher fuel costs on to us customers. Ballots are now going out to Coloradans serving overseas, and that means your ballot isn't far behind. And for the first time this year, there will be more language options for voters. Arapahoe County and 19 other counties across the state will have new requirements this year thanks to a new state law. Senator Dominic Moreno, one of the law's co-authors, hopes this will make more people feel comfortable voting.
Ballot language is notoriously hard to understand. I, as a college graduate, even sometimes struggle with some of the legalese that are in the ballot.
Right now, under federal voting rights laws, only a handful of Colorado counties like Denver and Adams have to offer multilingual ballots. Now, counties must offer multilingual ballots if 2,000 people or more primarily speak another language. And it isn't just Spanish that's required as an option here in ballots in Colorado. Under federal regulations, 2 counties qualify for ballot language services in Ute. The Ute people are among the oldest residents of Colorado. Many live on reservations in La Plata or Montezuma counties in the far southwest corner of the state, including the cities of Cortez and Durango. Ute is not a written language, it is only spoken. Elections workers in those counties mostly use translation services in person as opposed to translated ballots. Businesses in the high country are looking forward to seeing thousands of leaf peepers this weekend. Why one restaurant is just hoping to keep the power on to welcome visitors. And fighting wildfires in Colorado, the $5 million grant and how the state plans to use it.